An affordable, delicious pork chop dinner sounds good to me.
Right, sounds good to me too, so why don't we make it? With Chad Flazinski, he's from Taylor's Tavern up in Greenfield. Pleasure having you here.
Pleasure being here.
So what are we gonna do today?
Okay, we're gonna make a little maple balsamic pork chops, and then we're gonna do some sweet potato au gratin and a little sauteed Brussels sprouts.
Au gratin with cheese.
With cheese, yes.
Is that what that means?
And a little
With
bit of
cheese.
cream.
You have to do this when you say it.
With cheese, very fancy.
Yeah, it feels great.
So I have my cream rolling already.
Cream rolling?
Cream rolling,
Is that what you want your cream to do?
Yeah,
Okay.
As opposed to simmering or bubbling or boiling over. Obviously,
Okay.
nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that.
But once the cream is rolling, started, on the way, ready to go.
Got it.
We're gonna go ahead and add some cheese, and
This
I
is for
think
the au gratin part, right?
this is for the au
Okay.
gratin
Au
part.
gratin.
Yeah. You go all over here
Whisk it with
with
whatever
this
this is.
nice, colorful ball.
Mass appeal
You know what,
whisk.
Chad? Hold on for a second. I want to show everybody this whisk. Here's the thing. It bends. I don't know why.
It's like I think it's also a head massager.
You can take it back too, yeah. But don't. You got to make sure you figure out which one it is. Don't
mix
go
and
back
match.
and forth. Cross-contamination.
No, what kind of
between
cheese you
head
throw in there,
massager?
Chad?
I threw in cheddar. I'm a big fan of cheddar because I think it melts the nicest, especially with a little heavy cream. It does the trick perfectly. But
Smells
you can
great
use
from over here.
mozzarella, you can use American, you can use all of this stuff. So I'm going to bump Seth over a little bit
Okay.
here, and we're going to chop down these sweet potatoes.
Now, why
Just
did you have
for a
them
moment.
soaking in water?
I had them soaking in water so they didn't discolor.
Okay.
Oh. Could you also use lemon juice?
A whole lot of lemon juice would probably change the flavor of your dish.
I get you.
So
okay.
I probably would use just a little bit of water because you're only doing these for just a moment on what's going on here.
So these, I would say, 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch slices.
Oh, 1/8 of an inch. I feel so good when you say things like that.
No, it's impressive slices. I would have used a mandolin.
Yes, a mandolin, a slicer. Some people have little shoots that you can use them. I haven't seen too many.
But a
of those in
good
a
old-fashioned knife, that does the trick.
Good old-fashioned knife, little knife skills always seem
Yeah.
to work.
Why not?
So I am going to layer this.
Okay, here you go.
I'll do one here and one there.
And then we bake this?
Yeah, we're going to bake this.
Oh, okay. And these aren't pre-cooked, the potatoes,
These
right?
are not pre-cooked, which
Okay.
is why you slice them so thin, because they help. It helps them cook better, quicker.
So we're making a layer like a casserole.
Yeah,
almost.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you add anything else to this, or is it pretty much good just the way it is? with
Just
the
like
cheese?
it is, and we'll foil it and throw it in the oven, and we can get on to the pork chops.
How long do you throw this in the oven for?
This goes in the oven about 35 to 40 minutes, and then I like to pull it out and add a little bit more cheese and put it back in for another 5-10 minutes or so, and let it get nice and brown and bubbly and.
Any cooking
goodness
instruction that
and
says
all
add
this
more
stuff.
cheese is
Add
fine
more
by
cheese,
me. Yeah.
add more bacon, add
Yeah.
more flavor. All those things are really
okay
good.
with
There's
these
not a
things.
lot of ingredients to this at all.
No, this is nice and easy.
Is this a traditional au gratin, you'd say?
I would say this is a pretty traditional au gratin.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of using Gouda cheese.
Yeah.
And a little bit of cayenne or a little bit of chipotle in
Because
with
it's
it.
really Gouda.
Because it's really
never
Gouda.
gets old.
Yeah. And so
That's debatable.
this will go in the oven for 45 minutes, and that'll be there.
Okay.
And
I'll put this in the oven. for
Okay.
you guys having fun, aren't you?
We're having a
We
good
always
day.
do.
That's good. That's
We
good.
do.
Cooking is fun. It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah, well, that's because we have fun chefs on the show. That's why.
Oh, I feel special.
So those are your pork chops there. You just
Yep.
put some salt and pepper on
Just a
them?
little salt and pepper.
Both
Yep.
sides, or just? Oh, I see.
One side like this first, and then go
Now,
on
can
the
you
other
take
side.
those right out of the refrigerator and throw them right in the pan, or do you want to let them sit?
Oh, I take them right out of the fridge. Actually, the colder the better. You know, the colder the meat stays nice and firm.
I bet that helps the searing too, if you want to get it both.
It helps
seared.
the searing process quite a bit, actually.
Now, are we going to finish these in the oven, or are we going to cook them all the way through?
No,
in
we're
the
going to
pan?
finish them in the oven. We're going to go ahead and we're going to sear them off like this, and then we'll flip them over. And as we flip them over, we'll add our balsamic and our maple, and it'll start to make a little sauce. And then we'll finish them in the oven, and when it comes out, that'll be the time to do the Brussels sprouts.
All right, so we'll take a quick break. We'll come back in a little bit.
Sounds great.
Sounds good to me, too. Welcome back. Well, we're back with Chad Flazinski. He's from Taylor's Tavern in Greenfield, finishing up our pork chop with miscellaneous side dishes.
Miscellaneous?
No, I think
Yeah.
they're
Is
perfectly
that just
fitting.
anything?
No, they're
They fit
perfect.
together. I put thought behind
I
this.
know you.
Okay.
I guess the word miscellaneous wasn't my best.
Okay, so we were searing pork chops before, looking for a nice hearty sear, which is
Beautiful.
what we got going on right now. And so at this point, I'm going to add a little balsamic and a little maple, and we'll put this in the oven, and then we'll come back with the TV magic
Oh,
balsamic pork chop.
you do the maple syrup and the balsamic right on there. You don't make the glaze separately.
Oh,
it's
I
not
do
like
it all
a
right in
reduction
the
or
pan.
anything.
It'll reduce by itself going in the oven. So you flip it, and so when it continues to cook, this is what it's doing, is reducing as we speak right now. So it'll reduce down and make myself a nice little glaze. That should be just enough sauce for every bite.
Cool.
No more, no less.
Yeah,
That's how you know
I hate
when
when
you do
there's
it
not
right.
enough sauce for every bite. That really grinds my gears.
It grinds a lot of people's
Yeah,
gears.
it's like-
Or you go to a restaurant, you get a pasta dish, and it's swimming in sauce. And so you get, by the time you get down to the end of the pasta, is it a cereal bowl? Do you pick it up and drink it?
And
You
that's
set
not
it-
Yes.
appropriate. You do that in public, people look at you weird.
Correct. So why don't you go ahead and set that
I
in
would love to.
set that in the oven there,
right.
and come back out with the other one. We're going to
Okay.
start some Brussels sprouts, Ashley.
All right.
Now you made a comment about those.
I did. I said, what is this that's shredded here? I've only always had Brussels sprouts as, either whole or cut in half.
Whole there.
Not shredded like this.
Right.
So these are actually cut up and shredded. So how are we going to cook these?
So we're going to cook them in a saute pan, nice and hot. If you guys were watching the last time, we had a little smoke action happening that seemed like it was really bad, but it wasn't. We're going to do the same thing again today. That's how you know you have a nice hot pan ready to
called
go,
good TV.
okay? Good TV it is. So you're going to put the Brussels sprouts in. They only take a second, really quick like, so.
All right, but you have to use fresh, I'm assuming. Can you use frozen, or would that not come out right? You can't really shred frozen.
You probably can't really shred frozen. I mean, a sharp knife, you could probably shred a few, but for the most part, better to use fresh. And I mean, these were $2.80 for 10 Brussels sprouts, which is probably enough for 3 people or so.
So it's affordable.
Yep, it's affordable. So they just go in here. There's a nice little sear starting to happen.
Nice.
And then I'm pretty sure I got a little white wine right here.
Oh. Do you have to trim Brussels sprouts? Trim the ends off?
I take the bad leaves off, and then I go ahead and I leave the stem on because that's what holds it together as I'm going to cut it out. And so I go pretty much right down to where I think the stem would be and let it ride. And that's pretty much what you have.
Got it.
And that'll be there.
Okay.
And then these are Brussels here.
That's
Go right on
it?
this way.
Garlic, white wine, salt and pepper. Oh, wow.
Can you smell that?
Yeah.
So nice.
What a fun way to cook Brussels
And
sprouts.
You probably don't have any glaze left in here.
No, there's a
Maybe we
little
can-
bit in here. Here we go,
Oh,
shall
this
we?
was the pan? Yes.
Oh,
over the pork, probably.
okay.
Some pork.
Seth likes it over everything.
No, well, you want the consistency of flavor throughout a dish. So if people missed this earlier, we had the potato au gratin, sweet potato, right?
Right. Couple potatoes sliced. What'd you say? 1/8 of an inch? I think it was
Eighth of an
16th,
inch.
but we'll go with 1/8 of
Something
an
like
inch.
that.
Yeah, 1/8 of an inch, really thin, ideally. You're gonna go ahead and make your cheese sauce with heavy cream and cheddar cheese. Feel free to add a little American or mozzarella. Layer them much like a lasagna, and into the oven, 45 minutes to an hour. It comes out just like this.
And at what temperature?
Hot.
Okay.
No,
You're
375
here,
or so.
folks.
It looks like lasagna, but do you broil it for the top to get like that?
I don't. I actually cheated and used a little fresh mozzarella, and that's what gives me my nice brown on there. It's very aesthetically pleasing and gives a nice string cheese feel to it.
It's
Right.
one of the only situations cheating is acceptable when it comes to mozzarella cheese.
Correct.
Thank you very much.